All right, so the first season of Marvel Rivals has finally dropped. We're going to take a quick look at the first season's battle pass and take a look at some of the notes that they have and see what kind of changes, nerfs, and buffs have actually been made to heroes. So adjustments happened with Captain America, Doctor Strange, Thor, Hulk, and Venom. Steve will receive some enhanced survivability, allowing more frequent entering and exiting of the combat, reduced the delay time for shield restoration after releasing Living Legend from 3 seconds to 2 seconds, reduced Liberty Rush cooldown from 12 to 10. Oh, snaps. Increases base health from 650 to 675, which may not seem like a lot, but with a Vanguard like Cap, who has his shield, that could help him stay in a fight a little longer for his healers, because Captain America isn't like hard to take down, but it's not super easy either because he has maneuverability with his leap. So yeah, I can see that helping with the survivability. Reduce the energy cost for releasing Freedom Charge, his ultimate ability, from 3,400 to 3,100. Reduce the additional health provided per second to self after releasing from 110 to 100. I mean, he has a plus 25 health, so that doesn't really... I don't see that being a huge change. So I think Captain America mains are okay. Doctor Strange, whom I always struggled with, will be reducing the threat range and increasing the defense window of the Sorcerer Supreme. Let's see, they're going to be add damage fall off to Maelstrom of Madness and Gamma Maelstrom, starting at 5 meters and reducing to 70% at 8 meters. I mean, Doctor Strange isn't even that strong. Like, he's not that much of a threat, to be honest. Slightly decrease the shield value recovery rate after releasing the shield as Seraphim from 80 to 70. Huh. I mean, but that's the thing that makes Doctor Strange actually viable as a Vanguard. That shield is like the best part of his kit. That's a weird debuff, to be honest. Thor, the God of Thunder, could use some slightly increased survivability and improve the success rate of... What? Who's this based off of? Because all the Thors I've ever had on my team or gone up against has been absolutely brutal. What do you mean increases survivability? Increase base health from 500 to 525. Added immunity to control effects during God of Thunder. Thor didn't need any increases. He didn't need any debuffs, mind you. Like, he was just fine. Hulk, Dr. Banner has been dominant. No, he has. Oh, not. I guess in rank. I don't play rank, so I guess that wouldn't affect me. But Hulk has been a non-factor in most of the games I've played personally. Dr. Banner has been dominant, but some decreased sustained combat capability upon entering the battlefield will bring him more in line with other Vanguards. No, it doesn't. Reduce the indestructible guard gamma shield value from 250 to 200. That shield didn't last long anyway. Like, if you had even 2 people go up against Hulk, that shield is gone. That's a weird debuff. Like, he hasn't been dominant. Again, it's from stuff that I've seen. He hasn't really been dominant. He's been easy to handle. Thor has been a bigger problem than Hulk. Venom is definitely a bigger problem than Hulk. So with Venom, with increased survivability and the threat of his ultimate ability, the symbiote menace will strike fear into the backlines of all enemy teams. Nobody uses him in the backline anyway. They always use Venom in the front because everybody focused on him. Increase the symbiotic resilience bonus health ratio gained per lost health point from 1 to 1.2. I mean, that's like one of his best survivability. Any character, to be honest. You okay, pup? Let's see. Increase the base damage of Feast of Abyss, his ultimate ability, from 40 to 50. Okay. I mean, I don't think Venom needed a buff, but sure. As for the duelists, Black Panther, Black Widow, Hawkeye, Hela, Magic, Moon Knight, Namor, Psylocke, the Punisher, Scarlet Witch, Storm Squad. Okay, pretty much everybody. Pretty much all the duelists got something. So with Black Panther, we're slightly decreasing T'Challa's combat survivability, reduced the additional health provided to self after refreshing Vibranium marks with Spirit Ring, or is it Rend? I don't know. From 40 to 30, and the upper limit of additional health provided from 120 to 75. Never really seen Black Panther as a threat, so that's weird. Black Widow, I rarely see anybody play Black Widow. Again, I think all of this comes from competitive. So it's interesting to see how this affects like quick plays. Natasha was very much in need of optimization when evaluating the release experience of her abilities, as well as a slightly increase to the threat of her ultimate ability. Increase the range of the first effect of Edge Dancer from 3 meter radius to a 5 meter radius. I don't play Black Widow, so I don't even know what that ability is. Reduce the time required for Fleet Foot to recover from 0 stamina to full from 12 seconds to 4. That's a massive decrease. Oh, maybe that means more people pick Black Widow now. Reduce the time required for Electroplasma Explosion, ultimate ability to reach maximum power from 1 second to 0.06. As for Hawkeye, we'll be decreasing the medium-long range damage capabilities, reducing the threatening combat radius, and slightly improving the close combat resistance for the Avenging Archer. Which Hawkeye was a problem for me. I have problems with Hawkeye. I play Squirrel Girl and I just get headshotted every time. Slightly reduce the spread angle between every 2 blast arrows. Okay. Reduce the triggering distance of passive ability Archer's Focus from 60 meters to 40 meters. Reduce the maximum additional damage of the passive from 80 to 70. I don't think Hawkeye mains are going to suffer that much, but I would like to know how Hawkeye mains feel about these changes. Like, does it change him up that much? Because I was never good with Hawkeye, so I never played him. So I don't know how much this changed from season 0 to season 1. As for Hela, whom I do play every now and again, the Gods of Death has been a menace and will slightly decrease her combat strength, which sucks. Reduce base health from 275 to 250. I don't really like that. I mean, I mostly use Hela like as mid. While the tanks are in front, I usually use Hela to watch over the healers, so I stick close to the healers. But if I see the tank struggling, I'd use her ability to stun enemies for a while. Plus, if you get headshots with her, it does mad damage towards vanguards. So having her with less health, I don't know if that's the right call. As for Magic, the Queen of Limbo needed an increase in her threat after unleashing her ultimate ability. I will admit, Magic's ability is probably the least favorable in my opinion. It seems to be easy to escape out of everybody's ability. I think Magic has the weakest ultimate. So they increase Umbral Incursion damage in Dark Child form from 115 to 135. Yeah, there's been plenty of times where when I use my ultimate to Dark Child, I come close to finishing off enemies, but they always escape because, again, Magic's ability is easy to run from. And so maybe that'll make her a little more viable. As for Moon Knight, the Hand of Khonshu will receive a slight increase to the threat of his ultimate ability because he needs that. And I'm being sarcastic. No, he doesn't. Moon Knight's ability was just fine because people mostly use it on the point. Like the area of effect is wide enough, and people use it like especially during push, to get people to back off of the main point. Increase the number of talons generated by Hand of Khonshu's ultimate ability from 10 to 14. But they do so much damage already. Increase the explosion radius of each talon from 4 meters to 5 meters. Okay, so they're not changing the area of effect, but they're changing the explosion radius and allowing the ability to last. That's all this is. It's not increasing the damage technically. It's just allowing it to last longer. That's gonna be interesting to see people use Moon Knight's ability during clutch time. As for Namor, we're optimizing the throwing field of Namor's eggs. Adjust the throwing field of Monstro spawn and Frozen spawn. Now, Namor can more accurately throw them to the desired location. I have noticed that the few times I played Namor that I really sucked at throwing those spawns. And it seems that's one of the biggest problems with Namor. His kit is fine, but using those spawn things, if you can strategically place them, because you can't throw them on the wall, so if you can strategically place them, you can catch your enemies off guard to make it seem like, oh, we're getting hit from the back, and have them turn around, and that gives your team the ability to pretty much dogpile on any Vanguard. Psylocke will be providing more options for other heroes to counter the Demon Slayer's ultimate. Okay, let's see what it is. Now, Dance of the Butterfly, her ultimate ability, will check for barriers, including Magneto's Metal Bullrock, Hulk's Indestructible Guard, etc. What? So only those who can put up shields. But she goes through them and goes back. So how does that work? So they're saying like the first hit when she comes towards you won't count, but the second hit when she passes back through counts? Because Magneto's barrier only covers the front. Captain America only covers the front. Magneto can put a 360 shield on people, and Hulk has a 360 shield. Or maybe it's like she can't go through walls? I don't know. We'll see. I don't play Psylocke, but I've seen plenty of awesome players who absolutely clutches with their ability, so we'll see. The Punisher, we're slightly increasing the damage capability of Frank's shotgun. Nobody's using the shotgun. Slightly reduce the spread of deliverance. Nobody's using the shotgun. Everybody's using the turret and his assault rifle. Nobody's using the shotgun. This isn't going to make anybody switch over to favor the shotgun. Everybody's using Punisher as mid and back to push players towards him, because he's going to be a bigger threat with that turret, because he's a ranged character. Nobody's using the shotgun. I thought they were going to make a change to his turret, because right now his turret has a lot of health and it has 200 rounds, I believe. So the only way and it doesn't overheat. So I thought they were going to make a change to that turret, but no, they went with the most asinine capability. Nobody's using the shotgun. As for Scarlet Witch, we're increasing Wanda's combat strength when she's facing duelists or strategists. Increases chaos controls, fixed damage from 50 per second to 60. Dang. And that's a massive increase, because she has range. So it's going to make her a little harder to, well, I mean, not harder to escape from, but a little more difficult to fight against. Reduce the percentage damage per second from 5 to, okay, there you go, from 5 to 3%. Okay. So there's still some survivability against her, so you can still fight against Scarlet Witch. And increase, I don't know what that is. Thonian burst projectile damage from 30 to 35. Which, okay, like that ability is great for when you're trying to escape. You can do a little bit extra damage and then use her phasing ability to get away. So that extra 5 can make a big difference. As for Storm, the Weather Witch needed an overall increase to her damage capabilities. We're also optimizing the filler for left click projectile and the release experience for ultimate ability. Her ultimate ability is fine. That's the best part of Storm, is her ultimate ability. Everything else that she has, if you're not very good at aiming, she is tough to use. Let's see, so Storm will have an increased wind blade projectile speed from 100 meters to 150. Thank goodness. I always felt that her projectile speed was a bit slow. I love playing as Storm, but yeah, her projectile is a bit slow compared to everybody else. And her left click damage is from 50 to 55. Increased bolt rush damage from 70 to 80. Dang. Okay, that's actually a big jump. And after releasing Omega Hurricane, her ultimate ability, the bonus health provided for herself will be increased from 350 to 450. Moreover, following its conclusion, the extra health will no longer vanish instantly, but will instead diminish at a rate of 100 per second. Okay. I'm okay with this ability, with this change. I think this is a good change for Storm. I like it. For Squirrel Girl, we're increasing the threat of Doreen and her furry friends in their ultimate ability. Okay, Squirrel Girl has been a threat to everybody. Let's see, addition to a new effect to the unbeatable Squirrel Tsunami, her ultimate ability. The squirrels will rush towards the nearest enemy after bouncing instead of bouncing randomly. Ooh. But reduce the Squirrel Tsunami health from 6 to 300. Nobody really attacks the squirrels. Everybody runs from the squirrels. So that's gonna be interesting to see. Ooh, let's see. Winter Soldier, a huge issue for a lot of people. We'll be adjusting Bucky by decreasing his long-range combat strength and increasing his survivability in medium close-range combat. Increase the bonus health provided by Bionic Hook and Tainted Voltage from 30 to 40. Increase Rotor Stern's projectile damage from 7 to 75. Reduce the area damage from 7 to 65 and reduce damage decay from 65% at 40 meters to 60%. And increase the base health from 250 to 275. This is so-so. This is more of a technical kind of thing because some people are really good with Winter Soldier. So this increase is going to help them dominate. And even if you're not good with Winter Soldier, that extra 25 is a big deal because that gives you, I think that'll give you enough time to at least recharge Rotor Stern's projectile. As for Wolverine, everybody's favorite, which I've seen plenty of people say that he's OP, Logan will receive an increase to combat strength. I'm sorry, basic combat strength, but a slight decrease to the additional survivability after activating Undying Animal. They increased his base health from 300 to 350. Okay, but reduced the damage reduction ratio provided by Undying from 50 to 40%. That's a heck of a trade-off. Because Undying Animal was key for aggressive Wolverine players. So to see that they get a slight a slight decrease in that ability, no, they're not going to get less aggressive because they have more health. So I think instead they're going to use this Undying Animal earlier than usual to keep up with this 350. As for our strategists, let's see, Cloak and Dagger, Ty and Tandy will receive an increase to their healing capabilities as well as an expansion to the coverage area of their ultimate. Reduce Dagger Storm cooldown from 15 to 12. I love Cloak and Dagger. when it comes to strategists, I main Cloak and Dagger. So this is for me. I love that. Because there's been so many times where I want to reuse this ability, but I'm still down to like 2-second cooldown and then I die. So it is cool to see that they at least decrease. I would like to see it decrease to 10 seconds, but because it lasts for a good while and it does heal very, very fast, the 3 seconds off I'm okay with. Increase the number of dashes of Eternal Bond from 3 to 4. Dag, well, they weren't joking when they said they were expanding the coverage area. The trade-off is that also puts you in a bit more danger because you're making one extra move, which could put you further into the back line than before. Because the thing is, Cloak and Dagger players, they don't just want to cover a circular area. It's kind of like a zigzag kind of area because everybody's always jumping around and moving side to side trying to serpentine. And with this ability, you can kind of like zip around and cover a good area. So having that fourth, I think is going to be awesome. So I like this. I like the change. I'm completely okay with this change. I would have liked to see them make Tai a bit more powerful. And by that I mean it's because when he puts everybody into the void, that is key to avoiding so many devastating abilities like Iron Man's ability or Scarlet Witch's ability. I've used that so many times to escape their ultimate ability and to help my team skip those abilities. And I would have liked to see, I don't think it lasts very long. Like, I get why, you know, it's very powerful and it's all about timing. If you can time it right during its abilities, like the difference in timing between when Iron Man uses his pulse and when Scarlet Witch uses her chaos, completely different. So you're sitting there and you're trying to time it, you're trying to keep up with everybody else, and I would have liked to seen it last a little bit longer to try to ease up that window. But I'm okay with what they have here. I think this is a good change. As for Jeff, we'll be adjusting the range of his ultimate ability. Thank goodness. So it now better fits the warning marker. In addition, we'll also be increasing his healing capabilities. Okay, that's cool. Adjust for It's Jeff, the ultimate ability range from a 10 meter sphere to a 10 meters radius and 5 meters high. Okay, I'm okay with that. Yeah, that's the problem then. The sphere was as wide as a daggone radius. So even if you had like Iron Man or you had Squirrel Girl who can hop really, really high, you were still getting caught in the air because Jeff was able to pretty much cover the whole map. At least that's what it felt like. Increase the healing of Joyful Splash from 140 to 150. I think that's a good trade-off. I like Jeff's change. This is what everybody wanted. Like, the radius is still kind of wide because he pretty much covers an entire area when you're trying to do points. When you're trying to hold points, he pretty much covers that whole area plus some. Because those control points are pretty small. Luna Snow, who's been great, while we've enjoyed her dropping the base, we've made adjustments to Luna's ultimate ability to prevent players from abusing his healing capability. What? Abusing how? Increase the interval for switching between healing and damage in Fate of Both Worlds from 0.1 to 0.5. No, I don't like that. That's one of the things that made Luna's ability so great, was that you were able to switch between. I guess now is a bit more skilled to do. But I don't like that. I really don't like it because after Cloak and Dagger, Luna Snow is my second go-to in a strategist field. So I don't most players don't even really switch to the higher damage. Now, if I have something where I had Mantis using her ability, then I would switch over to the full-blown damage. But other than that, I don't see it being a thing. And then we have Mantis. We'll be making Mantis a bit less fleet-footed, reducing her roaming support capabilities. Reduce Nature's Favor, her passive movement boost, from 2.5 meters per second to 1.5 meters. That makes no sense, because that only works when she's not in combat. Like, that's the one thing I like about Mantis and Luna Snow, is that their abilities, their passive when they're moving, allows them to move faster and get them back towards the fight. Everybody except for Cloak and Dagger has mobility that can get them back into the fight and back to healing. I mean, Cloak and Dagger, they do have the Void, but it doesn't really move you fast enough, and it doesn't last long enough that I would count it as like key mobility. But Jeff has his, where he can heal while he's moving underwater. Luna has her ice ability to where she skates pretty quickly. Mantis has her passive, which allow her to move quickly when out of combat. And Rocket had his jetpack, his rocket pack, to dash forward to be a little quicker, and it charged quickly enough to where I think it was a pretty good ability. So I don't like that that out of everybody's movement ability, they took Mantis, they debuffed Mantis movement speed. I don't like that. Rocket Raccoon. Rocket, it could use an enhancement to his healing abilities, which, yeah, Rocket isn't really the best healer. And if you focus on healing, Rocket is pretty good. But if you want to be like everybody else and be a DPS healing hybrid, you know, you had to make that big sacrifice, because Rocket's healing ability wasn't that great. And they increased the healing of repair mode from 60 per second to 70. I mean, maybe that'll make him a little more viable, but yeah, his ability to heal definitely needed some work. And they made changes to team up abilities. Hawkeye and Black Widow's ability to further tone down Hawkeye's oppression will be reducing his seasonal buff. So instead, Hawkeye's seasonal bonus will drop from 20% to 15%, which again, I didn't see a lot of people play Black Widow, so that wasn't really much of an issue. Hela, Thor, and Loki. Much like Hawkeye, Hela's overwhelming power will be receiving a slight reduction. Hela was a problem if you had a good Loki, because Loki does great with healing. And if you had a good Thor, because everybody tried to focus on taking down Thor. And Hela, if she made the final blow, she could bring back Thor or Loki. So they reduce Hela's seasonal bonus from 20 to 15%. So it's just the bonuses that's getting reduced. Luna Snow and Namor. Oddly enough, Luna Snow also has the team ability with Jeff, but this ability only is between Luna and Namor. We'll be increasing the threat of Namor's Frozen Spawn. Increase Frozen Spawn damage from 25 to 27. Increase Frozen Spawn slowing effect applied to hit enemies from 25 to 30%. And increase Berserk State Frozen Spawn damage from 16 to 18. The biggest thing I see right now is increasing the slow effect. That's going to be great against mobility characters like Iron Man. That's interesting. They didn't give it to Jeff, but they give it to Namor. But only because they changed up the spawns and not the actual team ability kit. See, Rocket Raccoon, when it comes to Punisher and Winter Soldier, one of Rocket's best tools will be available more often. Reduce the cooldown of ammo invention from 45 to 40. I haven't seen a whole lot of people use that team up ability. And I think it's because a bunch of Punishers and Winter Soldiers, they jump right into the fray. So Rocket has to place ammo intervention in a good spot, but because these two characters always running around the map. You know, they're never actually in the spot to actually take advantage of that. So that's going to be interesting to see if we see people use that ability more often now. Scarlet Witch and Magneto, a bit underwhelming. It was. Scarlet Witch and Magneto's team ability was honestly non-existent. It was such a weak team. I think they might have the weakest team up out of everybody in the game. A bit underwhelming. The damage capability of this father-daughter team ability will be enhanced. Increased metallic fusion projectile speed from 55 to 60, which is pretty good, and increased metallic fusion spell field from 30 to 35. I really thought they were going to do something else. But okay, that's a small step. It's a nice small step. I still think they might have the weakest team up. Let's see, Thor, Storm, and Captain America will be enhancing the damage capability of Storm's side of this team ability. So why did you put Captain America in there? Reduce the cooldown of Charge Gale from 25 to 15 seconds and increase the damage from 50 to 55. So Captain America, there's no change with Cap. Unless it's because... No, that's not gonna have any change on his kit already. That's interesting that they put Captain America in there. Unless they're saying that this season they took out Luna Snow's and Jeff's team up, and it's not just her anymore, which that wouldn't make any sense. Well, we'll see how that affects season 1 and to see if anybody actually needs a bit of a boost, because I honestly can't. I think Rivals has one of the better balancing for season 0 than any other free-to-play game that I've played in the past 5 years. So these kind of changes are pretty big. So I'm interested in seeing them. What about you guys? Did you guys like the changes that they made? Do you think that certain characters needed debuffs? Do you think your favorite character got the right buff or debuff? And are you looking forward to season 1? Let me know.